Silence fell between them, as tangible as the dark tree shadows that fell across their laps, and that now seemed to rest upon them as heavily as though they possessed a measurable weight of their own. A little later on in this video, we will share what that quote is from. But recently, many have come to this channel and said, Florida Maquis, you and other posters on YouTube have warned of this coming doom, this impending disaster for North America. And you've shown the signs, and we agree, but you offer no solutions. What are you going to do? What are your preparations? Well, truth be told, I have offered solutions. They're likely not just the ones you were expecting. You see, beans and bullets and Band-Aids, they can all run out. And anybody can counsel anyone to go buy up supplies. But I've counseled people to go pick up this little 3-season series called Colony. And I've used the images from it ad nauseum at this point, trying to encourage people to watch it and watch it closely, because real survival is going to boil down to this right here. Can you sit down face to face, eye to eye with those you love and talk to them about your fears, about their fears, about what they think is a good idea, about what you think is a good idea? That's what this is really going to be about. Because if survival for you is simply just about keeping yourself alive, that's easy. But like the song from Larry Gatlin said, just existing makes dying look awful easy. If there isn't something else in your life spurring you on to survive or to prep, it's not going to be worth it no matter what you do. Learn, especially you guys out there, to sit down, no distractions, and talk face to face with those you love. Now, that quote we started with, I'd like you to look at the book on the table between these two characters. This is Josh Holloway, Sarah Wayne Caius, playing the characters of Will and Katie Bowman from Colony. The book, A Wrinkle in Time. A great book, and that's what that quote is from. You see, the entire series is predicated on one moment where this guy here decides to not trust her and talk to her and go off on his own and do something incredibly stupid. Everything else is based on that. Every problem they have, every loss, everything she has to do is all about that moment. And make no mistake, guys, if you don't talk to her, someone else will. If you don't make her feel safe, someone else will. This would be the biggest piece of advice I would give to every man in my audience. Talk to her. The conversations don't have to be pleasant, but don't go off and do it all by yourself. Sometimes they'll be easy. Sometimes they'll be hard. Sometimes you'll hear things you don't want to have to hear. Sometimes she'll hear things that'll shock her. But that is a much more preferable outcome than silence. You can figure it out if you talk to each other. And ladies, this particular scene from Colony is where she just had gotten done lying right through her teeth to the man she loved about what she was involved in. Be honest. Men can deal with honesty. Maybe not well right up front, but as opposed to deception, regardless if it comes with a shower or not, we'd much prefer honesty. Because later on in the series, it all comes to a head. That I've been able to put together this many screenshots from a series that only had 3 seasons of 2 people sitting down talking to each other should show you what the series Colony is all about. It is all about people being put in positions, unfair positions, based on insecurities that shouldn't exist. Will Bowman, quote, "I'm not the man I was. I learned you got to do things to survive in this world and make compromises." Guys, trust me on this. Compromise. Someone else will. Someone else will figure out a way to make her feel safe. And that dovetails directly with what we were talking about all the way back in 2018, because there is something coming. There is something coming when they release, and they're not going to kill them, they're not going to gas them, they're not going to anything else. They're going to release millions of guys that will be willing to compromise and listen and be humble and be thankful. Here are some of the things that prisoners, when they're first released, are very thankful for. Not having to wear shoes in the shower, eating with forks and knives, having salt and pepper for food, not always having to watch your back, and being able to get food whenever you want it and just get up. Imagine everything else, sleeping on an actual mattress, air conditioning, a quiet, dark, cool place. Imagine, especially male prisoners, having any woman next to you. You think these guys are going to be all sorts of picky and choosy? They're going to be some of the most humble, most easy to get along with guys that many women have ever experienced because of what they have to compare it to. You call it shit hits the fan. They call it Tuesday. Let me say it again. You call it a shit hits the fan situation. They call it Tuesday. What you call bad and what they call bad are entirely different things. This is an article I'll share with you, stateofopportunity.michiganradio.org. Former inmates give advice to those just getting out of prison. And basically, long and the short of it is humility. Understand how blessed you are to not be in anymore, and be patient and be understanding of those around you. Seek church communities. All of these kinds of things lead to this. It's not just about this. A lot of people have misconstrued my channel and said that I'm talking just about the more salacious aspects. This is about trust. This is about feeling safe. This is about something that has been missing in North America for a long time. Everybody goes to bed with anxiety. Imagine going to bed with a little less anxiety because of new rules. We live in a moment where we do what we have to do for the people that we love. The old rules don't apply. Katie Bowman, Colony. You see, this is another reason I counseled ladies to maybe make decisions differently during a grid down, shit is the fan situation. Perhaps going for someone in your life that has a bit more of a reason to be humble than others. With the new ruling from the Supreme Court, this is going to apply as well. Some might ask, what does that have to do with anything? Well, women who have no problem having children, meaning they want to have children, they want to have families, they want to have babies, this means nothing to them. The only difference now is going to be they're going to have to choose men who are going to be good fathers. Not just men who are willing to have a roll in the hay. They're going to choose men that are going to be good fathers. Women who are mortified of getting pregnant and having children, they're the only ones who are going to have a problem. They're the only ones who are going to have a problem. But these guys are going to be watching all of it. These guys are going to have their eyes on the prize. Because I'm going to say it again, and I want every guy out there to listen to this. When these guys get out, they're going to have the same goals as you've had. They're just going to have a different standard. A lot of guys go through their day, and it seems almost monotonous. The idea of having air conditioning, the idea of driving around in a car, going to get groceries when you want to, eating whenever you want to, watching Netflix, Hulu, whatever. Having the things that you need to make your life easy. For these guys, that wouldn't be monotony. It wouldn't be monotony at all. For these guys, it would be scratching a lottery ticket. It would be the best day ever. It would be something that they would hold on to with two fists as tightly as they could. This idea of something that most North American men take for granted. Don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Talk to them. Talk to the women in your life that you value, because that's what this is really all about. If it's just you that you're worried about, none of these videos matter to you. Nothing I'm going to say is going to matter one way or the other. You can go right down to Costco or Sam's Club and stock up on as much stuff as you want, and you're prepped. It's easy. But when other people are involved, those you love, talk to them. Have this moment. It's not going to be easy, but it is the answer. And have as many of these moments as is necessary to get to the point where you know that she may not agree with you all the time, but she knows where you're coming from. And that's what this is really all about. That's what Colony, the series, was really all about. In fact, I didn't even bring up the image, but we'll talk about it in another video. Had this guy not done what he did in the series, it was only a matter of a few days later that his son, their son, unbeknownst to them, their teenage one, had found a deep underground sewer tunnel that the aliens had missed that they could have escaped through and gotten outside the wall. It's absolutely crazy when you watch this series and you look at everything that happened and you see how it all boils down to this. It really does. All the space aliens, all the plotting, all the strategy, all of the action, it really comes down to conversations and psychology. I'll leave it there. God bless. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.